Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Nerds Enjoying White Wine. Got my actual big brother, not random. You know, how people be like, bro, my big bro. Now, this is my actual brother, Bills, Sad Pit,
You older than me.
this guy, Bailey. Sad Pit, Brandon Jenkins, whatever you want to be called as. Um, you know, welcome onto my YouTube channel
Thank
stuff.
you for having me, brother.
Oh my God.
I appreciate it. I've been watching you do your thing, man. You know, been inspired. You inspired me to start doing more stuff in my YouTube channel.
Bro, you've been doing mad stuff the whole time.
Yeah, but you know, after a while, after you do so for so many years, you get lazy. And once I
Yeah.
seen you back pursuing it, and you go hard. You went hard. You go harder than I've ever went. So.
Nah, I just work from home, man. So I got a little extra time. Plus, I watch so much YouTube already forever that like, once you see how everybody else be moving, it makes it a little bit easier to figure out what you should and shouldn't be doing, and then it's just like putting it out and not being miserable about it. Like, I'm not doing it to get on. I'm doing it just because like
Yes.
I'm just in the
You
crib.
enjoy it,
Like
yeah.
like I enjoy talking about anime and all that stuff, and who am I talk to with it? My dog all day, like.
That's a fact. That's one thing I learned. Like, just make sure you're happy with what you're doing.
Word.
Like, even if you if what I'd be doing this if I was poor, if I'd be doing this if I was rich, that's determined if I really like something, and that's my method of.
Facts. But before we start to get into some of the talking points of our conversation with each other, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. As well, if you enjoy the video, you enjoy the audio, be sure to hit that like, leave a 5-star rating. This will be on YouTube and other podcast streaming type platforms because I do both video and audio for this. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the convo. Let me know if you think I'm trash or he just looks better than me or whatever you want to just say, man. Just the comments. Oh my God, bro, this dude's affectionate as hell.
I
But
love you, man.
So let's get into it. First thing I want to ask you, since you're on me, nerds enjoying white wine, I'm gonna ask you nerdy-esque questions. I'm not gonna ask you too much about your dominant social life. So me growing up, there's a stigma around like anime and cartoons and all this stuff. And I feel like it's a little bit different in the hood. Like a bunch of black dudes and stuff like that. Being into anime growing up never felt like we were weirdos for being into anime. Because it's almost like you still punch a nigga in the face
Right.
even though you watch Dragon Ball Z
That's a fact.
or Sailor Moon or whatever.
As long as you just didn't try to power up before it.
yeah, like, trying to power up before the actual fight.
That's why people. Those the people that got it bad.
A nigga powering up in 305 Park is crazy.
Yeah, that's like, what are you doing?
Bro, so obviously you were probably one of the first people, you and Saint, probably first people to really show me anime growing up.
I was gonna make sure you said it.
So it's like, that's like Digimon, that's early Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball obviously, but little things, Pokemon, all of that. So like that's like, the early stuff they gave us. From what you remember, what's the first anime you remember watching?
When I was young, I had it was like a VHS of this movie called Fist of the North Star.
Oh, that's a classic beat.
Yeah, like that's the first thing I ever watched, and I was like, "Yo, this is fire! It's like a cartoon, but it's like grown up stuff happening." Like
Yeah.
that, and I think because a lot of stuff I don't know if it was classified as anime when I like back then. Like there's this show on MTV called like Eon Flux. It was,
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Right.
Right. Flux, yeah.
like I'm not sure if those was classified as anime, but those was like my first introduction to it when I was real young. So when I got older, I just always liked those type of cartoons, like more adult cartoons. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this is like adult cartoons. So I started watching, of course, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, because they came on, and it was like, what else we gonna watch? This is on Pokemon, but more so like Case Close and Cowboy Bebop, Lupin the Third,
Lupin the
like
Third,
yeah,
fire,
right.
beat.
Those was my real. I will give those a credit to be my real introduction into anime.
Yeah. So what was it?
Customers.
Oh, well, we got customers. Well, it is what it is.
Hi, how are you?
All right, well, that was there's going to be a random jump cut that tends to happen when I do these videos because we're actually working inside of his store, his Saturday store.
Yeah.
And, Yeah, we were talking about anime just now, but let's jump into like where we are. Where are we at right now, bro?
We at the Saturday store. You know, I've been doing the brand for about 10 years. This is one of my biggest supporters. We've been doing the brand for like 10 years, and we finally got a store in East Williamsburg off Lorimer and Skillman, like right off Metropolitan, the L train on Metropolitan, the G train, and
Wine me. He don't even drink wine. That's what's crazy.
I do drink wine.
You don't
Don't
drink
try to
wine,
make it
man.
seem like I'm not classy. I drink
you're
with
not
my
classy.
pinky up.
You're not classy, bro. We drink white wine only. I mean, do you usually drink white wine or red wine if you do drink wine? Or you don't care?
I don't care. I'll drink anything. I drink, like yesterday I had 2 beers. Like we be playing beer pong in the store on Fridays and Saturdays. Like usually there'll be a bunch of us here, but it's only me. I mean, you could get beat in beer pong if you would like.
You don't want the smoke, bro. Remember that first time I pulled up with beer pong? Y'all wasn't even ready. Who was it? It was Tech from
Oh yeah, Tech from Smith and Wesson.
Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, we was.
Nobody. It was a whole bunch of black people, bro, that didn't go to college. A whole bunch of people in there that didn't play beer pong in their life. So whoever was there set up that pong table at that party or that pop-up shop or whatever. And I was stuck on the table forever because ain't nobody know how to play beer pong. It's killing y'all, bro.
Right.
I'm not even nice at beer pong.
I mean,
I think I'm mellow at the free throw line when I'm playing.
but yeah, we got we just opened up our store. We'll be doing a grand opening later, like when the weather breaks. You know, it's still a winter time, so just being here every day. If anybody want to come, pull up, cop some shirts.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Word. I mean, definitely gonna have the link in the bio and all that stuff, and definitely put like a little title card so you guys can see all the information and where to come through at. It's on 623 Lorimer in Brooklyn, New York. Make sure y'all look that up. It's also like you got the backyard too.
Yep, got backyard. We're gonna be doing a lot of events in the summertime.
Yeah, and it's dope because like how many stores that like technically is a retail spot that has a whole like backyard for like vibes. Mm-hmm. Like basically, like you can do anything at this point.
Because we're a brand, like that's what I always tell people. Like we're not like a clothing brand. We're literally a brand. We put out content, like we make clothing, but we do a lot of other things. So that's why the space was perfect for us because we do events. Remember I used to do the Saturday shows, and I remember I did one at your college. I purchased so it's like really a brand.
Yeah, it's a movement more than it's just
right.
like
Exactly. It's a
like
lifestyle. Saturday, right? That's what I always tell people like. You don't wear Saturday. You're in Saturday.
Man, you stuck in it.
You're stuck.
I was stuck in it for a while too. That was pre current relationship. That's when I'm lucky I even got.
I mean, but see,
she hated me during that era, bro. She was like, "Why you do that?" I was like,
"But see, this is what I try to tell people. This is what I try to tell people. It's not one specific thing. You don't have to be like." Sometimes you sad because your alarm clock going off. You're like, oh, I gotta go to work in the morning. It's like so many other reasons besides relationships to be sad. Like just because I was sad in a relationship and started it, don't mean that's like what it's defined as.
Yeah,
like,
you got your own reason to be sad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own reason to be sad, and the message behind it is like it's okay to be sad. Like it's not the end of the world. Like like. Sometimes you think when you're going through something, you just be like, "Oh, this is it." Like, no, it's sad. It's like happiness wouldn't mean as much without sadness.
Yeah,
so it's
bro.
like, all right,
you gotta have
I'm
both.
sad, and I wear my frown on my shirt so I can keep my smile on my face.
Yeah, bro. Everybody always wearing happy faces.
Right.
People always trying to promote that joy. It was like, nah, bro.
That's not. Yeah, that's right. That's not realistic. That's definitely not a realistic.
I mean, it's not like nobody's gonna make a shirt called like medium day because like in between emotion days.
I'm in between.
Whatever. It's not that cute at that point. But yeah, make sure y'all check out the website. Make sure y'all check everything out.
Saturday.com, Saturday on Instagram, Saturday Shop on Twitter.
Yeah, Saturday everything, bro. Just look up Saturday. His face will come up. But yo, let's get back into our anime conversation. You told me some of the first anime you remember watching and what it was kind of like being into it in that 90s era, that early era.
Right,
versus
yeah.
now.
It was like, especially back then, right? It wasn't as popular it was, so even people wouldn't even understand when you asked them if you've seen the shows because it wasn't as easy to get, wasn't accessible. Word. And then like especially I think Tsunami Cartoon Network used to show anime late night, like 2 nights a week, and if you didn't catch it, like you had to tell people. I would be in school telling people like, "Yo, you gotta watch Cartoon Network at 12 o'clock. It's the show that come on.
Yeah, that the midnight run.
It's crazy. It's like, yo, you have to watch it," and people would come back. Like you'll tell them that on Monday because you just saw it Saturday, and then like Friday you gotta remind them again. They'll be like, and if they missed it, that was it. That was how crazy TV was back then. If you missed something, you had to wait a whole nother week or randomize to catch it again. So
back then it was like So Toonami had came on like in the daytime after school. So like back then it was like you watch maybe Kids WB or like Channel 5. Get your Power Rangers fix, Pokemon, and what was that Bobby's World from back in the day. All them old cartoons, right? And then like so around like 4 or 5 o'clock, Toonami would start airing like the anime. That's when you started getting Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon. I think some other shit called like Ronin Warriors, like
Ronin
some
Warriors,
yeah,
right.
like
Man, you
that.
remember all of that?
I be doing my research. I be doing my homework. I mean, it's like it's the being into anime now and then. Like back then, like we didn't feel like we had to hide it, but it wasn't like you weren't the man for watching anime.
You didn't have to hide it because nobody even knew what it was. When you try to explain it to people, they was like, "What? Like, what is that?" Like, nobody even knew what it was to call it nerdy because literally nobody be like, "What the fuck is that?" Because you speak real anime. Because people watch Dragon Ball Z. Like, I don't really consider Dragon Ball Z anime because it's like basic level anime.
Yeah, at
like
that point it's like
just a TV show. Like everybody watch Dragon Ball Z.
You're gonna tell me you watched the Spider-Man or the X-Men cartoon growing up? That's like it's like a layup. Like, all right, cool. You was watching TV because it was on.
Right. But the real anime is like Adult Swim was like the real introduction to a Toonami.
Yeah, the first time I seen. This is when I knew anime was crazy. So like I had all those, I was watching all other stuff because like in the daytime and stuff. But I stayed up late one night. And it was the first time. You remember Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
I remember the first time Yu Yu Hakusho aired. It was like late night on like a Saturday. It was probably like 11:30. I was mad young too. And then he started cursing, and not cursing, but he was like, "What the hell?" Some shit like that. And I was sitting here like,
"Yeah, cartoon."
Oh, we do that? I was like, "Nah, this is lit." It was the first episode, and I was hooked because one, homie got hit by a car. Like we would just like stuff like that wasn't happening in American cartoons. So all that shit was just happening early. That got me into it quick. But like I was saying before, like the vibe from being into it then and now, it's so much. Like now it's like if you not into it, you a weirdo. It's almost like it has like completely flipped. Like
that's a fact.
Because like granted, everybody be watching garbage. It's reality TV and there's all types of shit, right? So who is anybody to make fun of
anything?
Like technically, niggas who's into sports. You obsessing over a bunch of grown ass men,
that's a fact.
Right?
You like
you obsessing over a bunch of grown men you don't know that you'll never meet and that you don't make no money off of unless you bet.
And even then, a real man bet on himself. You feel me? You betting on a team. I bet on my own team, my squad.
So for you, you're personal. This is for you. Don't not into not anybody else's. What anybody thinks is like in the upper echelon. What's your personal top 5 anime?
Ooh,
I already know one of them.
Trigun is number 1.
Trigun number 1.
Trigun.
That's crazy. I would have thought something else would have been your number 1.
Full Metal Alchemist. That's number 2. They like 1A, 1B, but Trigun is like. Because I saw Trigun first, so that's the only reason I get one. Because they both equally fire to me. Like, them two equal. I just saw the Trigun first, so I just became a...
I don't know,
but you know what? I see
you be repping Full Metal way harder, though.
Yeah, because I saw Full Metal more recent. And it's easier to rep Full Metal because people know what Full Metal is. Yeah. So it's like...
That shit's goated.
And because it was by brothers. You know, I love my brothers.
Elric brothers. These boys.
And so I do, like I tell you, they 1A and 1B, but I would just say Trigun number 1 because Vaster Stampede is just like, he just. He go trying to be that
as a grown ass man.
Part of like I was my first name on Twitter was B Billions, the humanoid type. Like on streaming apps or like
it just started like probably.
Right, I had DVD, but I even had DVD.
Yeah, you don't know yet. You don't know yet. Just judge me and then go home.
Right, just go home. Right, let's go.
So yeah, besides 1A, 1B is technically those two.
Right, 1A, 1B. Because Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is hands better than than Trigun.
Yeah.
But you mean my favorite?
Yeah, this is your like.
Right, just because I like Investigative was like a pervert. And back then I was a little bit more
Nasty boy, you get the nasty award.
Investigative was definitely a ladies' man. So then Full Metal Alchemist. Then 3, I would have to say Inuyasha. Inuyasha.
There's actually a Inuyasha sequel out right now about Sesshomaru had 2 daughters. They like twins, I guess. Mm-hmm. Well, he had it with that little girl. Kind of nasty when you think about it. Remember the little girls follow him around. So he had the twins with that girl, and Kagome and Inuyasha have a daughter. So now the story is about these 3 girls. It's coming. It's airing right now. Nah, they all. It's some weird shit.
You know one thing I really noticed? I thought I saw every episode of Inuyasha, and then I got on Hulu, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I thought I saw like 100 some episodes. They got like 1,000.
Bro, this mad. I'm to this day, like I know how Inuyasha like starts, middle, and like for the most part, like bullet points. I don't think I've ever actually seen it in order. This is back in the day. Cable, if you missed it, you missed it. You missed it. Like then you got to fill in the gaps, and maybe they hit you with the recap. But then I found out that the anime actually stopped at one point, randomly, and then they held off on releasing like the final like 100 episodes, a whole like it's like Inuyasha the final act, and that released in like 2012. And you sit here like, I was watching shit like 2005.
Yeah, like, right. That's like, how? That's nothing about anime that bugged me out. That, but Inuyasha's 3. No, you know what? Nostalgia got me Inuyasha 3. Attack on Titan is hands down better than Inuyasha. And I do.
Fun fact: he only watches English dub, so he's not caught up on like season 4 current shit. So
I do want to apologize to you because you've been telling me to watch it for years. I just watched it last year. For years, you've been telling me, "Yo, you gotta watch Attack on Titan," but I couldn't watch it because I'm not a subtitle guy. Like
I get it. It's not for everybody.
I just read a comic book for that. Like I'm watching TV to watch TV, not to read. You feel me?
You know what it is? It's that voice acting. Sometimes like Eren and Mikasa voice in English, they don't put the same sauce on like they screams and all that stuff and their emotions the same way in English. When this is in English, they basically listen to like a Japanese version of it and then trying to do their own take on it. It's still good though because I've heard the English stuff before and it's serviceable. It's not like a stark difference like how Goku in Japanese sound completely different than Goku in English. It's 2 different people. Goku in English sounds like a fucking like, I'm a hero, I'm going to protect everybody. But Goku in Japanese is a fucking goofball. He basically makes sure everybody dies because he's always getting everybody in trouble.
Yeah, right. I mean, he did that in English too. Goku.
He did it in English.
Goku is definitely terrible. He's the worst protagonist ever.
Ever, son.
Ever.
It's like he don't want to protect nobody. He
want to save the day, right?
He just want to fight.
Vegeta. That's another thing that's underrated. Vegeta is the real hero.
Vegeta is
the real
had
hero.
A whole character arc, redemption. Vegeta went from being the bad guy to being like.
But was he really the bad guy?
I mean, to be fair, he just was trying to. I mean, I guess technically it's debatable because he was only a product of his environment.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. So, he came to Earth to fight Goku because he thinking Goku was a bad guy.
And he only came there for the Dragon Balls anyway because they were talking about the Dragon Balls when Raditz and Goku fought. So that's the only reason they even went to that planet.
Right, Goku killed his own brother. Goku's a terrible person. Then he killed his grandfather.
He gave his son to an alien.
Gave his son. Look, he killed. Remember, he turned into an ape and killed his grandfather. He killed his own brother. He gave Gohan to Piccolo. Like, how you just give your son to a black man? Like, Goku is top 5 worst people ever. Bro. He don't got no. He always die on his wife. His wife be like, "Yo, like, how are you dead?" Like,
he don't take care of none of his kids.
He don't take care of none of his kids. He don't help nobody. He don't do shit. He let everybody. He stopped fighting Cell. Like, all right, let my son fight him. Like, what the fuck?
And then he started getting whooped out. Right? He started getting ass whooped. Gohan got whooped out, boy.
Goku is a terrible person. Like, terrible.
Worst, bro. Nah, I mean. I made a video before like putting Goku like he's like the worst protagonist ever. I bang with Goku, but like
he's a fun guy. He's like he's the friend that you got that you know like
that's your Vegas friend. Goku's your Vegas friend. Goku's not your friend that you bring to like
the wedding.
Your family, the wedding. If he's at the wedding, he's probably like at the back table because you know he might get too lit. Like it's just like That's the fun friend. That's not the friend that you like. Yo, my man's like, he don't do business ventures.
Right.
You don't do business ventures.
You gotta give him a speech every time I go to, like, bro, please, not to here. Like, my wife, family, whole here, but please, bro. Like, my boss is here. Like, wherever you go, he be like, no. And he still do something every time. You be like,
always find
why
a way,
did I
bro.
come with this nigga? Wow.
This nigga's the worst. So, all right, boom. So we got Trigun,
Full Metal.
Full Metal. You keeping Inuyasha there?
Nah, I'm putting Attack on Titan before.
All right,
Inuyasha.
Attack on Titan. So what's your last two?
No, Inuyasha is 4. I'll give
Inuyasha's 4. All right.
The amount of it I saw, because the amount of it I saw is good, but
Yeah.
until I realized I missed 400 episodes.
Yeah, you missed mad episodes. You like, is it my favorite?
I'm trying to think, cause I like Seven Deadly Sins, but I don't know if I like it enough because
It's okay, but
It's
it started
newest
getting
one
the
I
newer
just
one started
watched.
getting shitty.
yeah, I didn't watch none of the newer ones.
Yeah.
But like the first 2 seasons is really like I really liked them a lot. I like Leotis. I like Bond. Like,
Yeah, Bond is
He the
your
man.
Bond is your new Trigun.
Yeah.
You gonna get the red leather
Right,
suit?
Bond. Nah. My days of dressing like an anime character far behind me. Remember I dressed as the Fuhrer King Badly.
You did King Bradley, bro. That was your guy, bro.
That was
You
my
you had your
guy,
name
bro.
as that everywhere. I was like, this
Fuhrer
nigga.
King- That was my first Instagram name, Fuhrer Brad. And a couple people was like, "Do you know what a Fuhrer is?"
Do you know what a
I'm like,
Fuhrer
I'm like,
is?
oh shit, I'm sorry.
Word, that's what's
Don't
crazy. 'Cause,
cancel
like
me.
we live in America, so we don't know all like
Yeah,
that
right.
German shit and
I'm
all
like,
the
a Fuhrer. I'm like,
so
yeah.
you was like, oh, I thought that was the dude from the anime. It
Yeah,
was
like
like,
Fuhrer Brad.
no, a
No.
Fuhrer is this, and you see him like,
I'm like, yeah.
I'm not gonna change it, but like,
Yeah, it's like I don't mean no harm. Like this is literally not the definition of it to me.
I'm not even
but-
talking about him. I'm talking
Yeah.
about somebody else. That's crazy. So all right, bet. So that's your 4.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I would just say the regular Full Metal.
I thought you were gonna say like maybe Digimon or some shit.
Nah, I don't really consider Digimon, Pokemon those like real enemies because those was like on Cartoon Network. Those was like force fed to us.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
But that was our
I
shit,
love
though.
those shows.
That was our shit, though.
I'm
We
about
had
to
the
say,
Digi- we had the
I love Pokemon.
Digivices,
I
boy.
I had everything. We had all of that.
We had the
stuff growing up.
Digivices and shit, bro. The Digivices
Oh,
was
man.
busted, boy. The shit was them shit mad bread now, by the way. Like you getting like the Digivices we had back then, it'd be like 200-300.
Damn, we should.
And them shits is they just Tamagotchi. They don't even do
right.
nothing.
They don't do
But they was
nothing.
lit back then, bro.
It was the best shit just to have. So, but those was like, I tell you, I do love them, but I don't really consider those like real anime because it's like
So both Full Metal
mainstream
Alchemist.
media. Yeah, both Full Metal because the regular Full Metal is alright too.
It's not that bad. Niggas be killing it and be
Because-
telling people, "Yo, don't even watch it. Watch Brotherhood."
Because Brotherhood is so much better.
It's so
but
much better.
That is great too.
Yeah.
But Brotherhood is literally the best Alchemist. I mean, the best anime there is. Like
Yeah.
Full Metal is the best. It's a couple. Nah, yeah, that's the best. That's the best. It's hands down.
So where you up to right now in Attack on Titan? What's the last thing that happened that you watched?
Where the helicopters came and like remember they had captured Ern and
Erwin?
yeah, Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah, right. They
Oh,
had this-
so you in the new country already?
yeah, right.
So you in season 4? You in the beginning of season 4?
Right, the beginning of season 4.
So
Like, no, I'm
you
halfway.
met Gabby and all them.
I'm halfway. Like, who's Gabby? That's the people who.
Gabby's a little girl that's act just like Aaron.
Right, from the other time she jumped
From-
on the helicopter. She killed.
It popped Sasha.
Right, she killed Sasha. Right, yeah, I'm there.
So that's the last thing you saw.
Nah, the last thing I saw is when the Jaegers. He got his own squad
Got
now.
his own
he got
crew and
people
all that.
willing to die for him, killing die for him.
How you feel about Aaron's transformation from like early on to now?
I understand it. It's like, yo, when you that passionate about something, you turn into the people you hate. Especially when you learn the truth.
Especially because like he just wants freedom for his people
Yo,
too.
especially when
He's over
you
here like,
learn
nah,
the
I'm
truth.
looking out for me and mine. Like everybody else,
Everybody look out for themselves. Like Ryder, all them.
I can't get into too much of what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, right,
I don't know if
please.
it's translated
Not yet.
for where you at, but it's about to get crazy.
I think it is.
Boy. It's about to.
Levi just came back. I seen Levi. That was the last episode I seen. I think Levi came back.
Oh, so you caught up?
No,
Levi just came back like from.
cause it's all right. The last episode I seen was the Jaegerists took over everything, and they were on a roof waiting for like a helicopter to come or something because it was halfway. It was like they just released part 2. I saw the
They
full
just
part.
released part 2, but
Right.
you haven't started anything from part 2.
Not part 2, nothing
Alright,
from
so
part
yeah,
2.
I bet. So then I'm gonna shut up then.
Well, maybe
I'ma
I
shut
don't know
up
if
maybe
you
you seen some
back.
spoilers and shit like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Because
Like-
niggas be posting shit on the internet.
all
Nobody
the time,
cares.
and I don't be knowing
Right.
because I was like, I'll be listening, clicking, so I'm like, oh, I think
Because
I
Sundays
said
is
it.
crazy. Sundays is Attack on Titan and Euphoria.
Right.
So nigga, it's just messy on Sundays.
So where do Attack on Titan come on now? Like, how can I watch it?
I watch it on Verve, which is like basically Crunchyroll, the same company owns it, whatever. Yo, sponsor me. And then Funimation, I think, has the English dubs. They do it for free, so if you just go in there, they usually come out like I think a week after the. I'm gonna send you a link. I'll send it to you to see if I can find that shit.
All right, that's a bet. Yeah, because I got to catch up because I love Attack on Titan. Because honestly, after the end of it, depending on how it ends, it might jump to my top top 2.
I know how it is, so I'm not gonna. Because I read it, so I read manga and all that stuff like that. So I read. I mean, I can't help it sometimes. Sometimes I be feeding to know how shit ends, and I just be like, I'm just gonna read it.
Who
Because
even reads nowadays? Who reads?
I mean, it's
anything?
pictures, technically, so it's
I
not
guess.
reading. I can't read. Regular read. I'm not illiterate, but like reading books, reading textbooks, not my thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of pictures with words. It's light. I can do that. It's nothing. So we'll get off anime now. I'll ask about some other weird shit, right? How do you feel about comic book movies and all that stuff? Because me, you've never really talked about like
Comic book movies.
like
I love
Marvel
them.
movies and stuff like that. We never really get
Oh,
into never really get into conversations about Marvel movies.
I
and
seen
stuff.
every single one except I just couldn't get into. I feel bad because I fuck with Jeremy Renner, the actor. I fuck with him as a person. I love him, but that one was just not for me.
The
Like,
Hawkeye show.
yeah, the Hawkeye show.
I fucked with it, bro.
Bro, I could beat Hawkeye, bro. Look,
You
at,
could be Hawkeye. That's the point. You could be Hawkeye.
I could beat him up. Like if
Oh,
he
you could
came
beat-
here and tried
Nah.
to fight me, I would fuck Hawkeye up. Like, I like my comic book characters to be somebody that I feel like I could never be.
You
like,
trying to get yoked
live
up.
through them.
You need to-
Or just live through them. What the fuck do I want to be Hawkeye for? He just some nigga that know karate that shoot bow and arrow. If I had enough
You could
time,
be Black Widow.
How yeah, I could be Black Widow? She just know karate. She a spy that know karate. I could be any superhero that don't got powers. I could be Batman up. Like
Nah, you can't be.
I
That's how you push it.
I could be Bruce Wayne. I would fuck Bruce Wayne up.
Because he not strapped.
Yeah,
He
right.
not strapped.
If it's just me and him getting it on, I would sneak him. One, I would be like, yo, Bruce, don't fuck out of here, nigga. He ain't gonna be ready. I could be Bruce Wayne. I could be any superhero that don't got powers except I can't beat the new Captain America just because I would never fight him because he's another black man. You feel
Yeah,
me? I respect-
nah,
his life is already hard.
He
enough,
already
so-
got it rough, bro. He already
I'm not fighting no black
He already run around
superhero.
with America on him. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's
you
a
make
fact.
you choosing to struggle. So out of all the MCU movies, and including the shows or whatever, just like pick one. What's your favorite shot of all those?
Endgame.
Endgame.
Endgame is the best. No. Infinity Wars, not Endgame.
Infinity Wars is way better than Endgame, actually.
Infinity War, right? I said
That time travel shit, Endgame was just like, all right, what are we doing?
Infinity Wars is not even just Marvel movie. That's like my top 5 movies ever. Just because it's all of them. And the best scene, that gave me the best scene. I literally, like when I'm in a bad mood, I just go to it and watch this one scene.
You just watch them get whooped out?
No, when they went to Titan and they was fighting against
When they was fighting.
the Galaxy of the Guardians came to fight.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
they
yeah, I
all
know you're
got
talking
on
about-
Titan?
yeah.
And this one scene where he was like, where Doctor Strange was like, "What master do you serve?" And he was like, "What am I supposed to say? Jesus."
Jesus?
Yo, I be crying. And it was like, "You're from Earth."
He said, why you know who Jesus
He
is?
was like, "You're from Earth. Why you?" He's like, "Why you hassling us?"
I mean, I know why he know who Jesus is. Daddy definitely gave him a pamphlet.
That's a fact.
Daddy gave him a pamphlet.
Oh,
like in the
shit.
MCU, Daddy gave him a pamphlet,
That's a
so that's
fact.
why he knew who
He's
Jesus
like, "What am I
was.
supposed to say, Jesus?" And then he was like, "Well, I'm half human, so the part of me that's dumb, that's 100% you."
Flipped it on him, boy.
I was crying.
Flipped it on him, son.
That right there, that scene right there is the best scene.
So, for MCU shit, last thing with this, what is the hottest take you think you have in regards to MCU? Whether it be you think some shit is trash or you think some, like just the hottest take you have.
Nobody is tired of Wolverine yet. Nobody. You could bring him right back. You could do another 8 Wolverine movies and nobody is tired of him.
Bro,
nobody
could never get enough.
Could never get enough.
Bro.
I don't even care who they got playing Wolverine. No,
I don't care who. I
just bring him back.
Just put him on the screen.
Bring him back. He's like the most interesting person ever. Like I find Wolverine more interesting than Tony Stark, more interesting than Batman. He's the Wolverine. Like,
it's crazy because so Wolverine's my favorite character in Marvel. I got like a Wolverine tattoo and all that. And sometimes
I wonder why.
Nah. So I always get into it with people who kind of more recently got into like comic book shit like that. It's almost like fake gatekeeping that I be doing sometimes. I can't help it, but it is what it is. Because when you just into this shit for so long, you watch everybody else just now hop on it. You be like, damn, y'all niggas really just getting here. Like I've been here all day. Y'all just getting here. Like
can't help it.
So when they be like, yeah, Captain America's my guy, Tony, Iron Man's my guy, I'll be saying like, how? Yeah. I'm like, these niggas was nobody back in the day.
That's what one thing.
Nobody.
Robert Downey Jr. That's why he get paid so much money because he made Iron Man. Iron Man was such a cornball back in the day. Like comic book Iron Man, cartoon Iron Man was not this Iron Man that's this lit. Robert Downey Jr. literally made Iron Man who he is. Like Batman, been Batman.
Yeah, Batman been
Superman.
lit.
All of like even Captain America, been Captain America. Everybody fucked with Captain America because he was the first one. You feel me? Like everybody. But Iron Man, I could not believe that he's this lit now. But that shows you the credit to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he did. Now he can't play anybody else now because that one time he tried to be Dr. Doolittle, he played himself. Just stick to Iron Man, my guy, and you get paid.
But Robert Downey Jr. You see, you young. You don't remember Robert Downey Jr. Bro, he went. First of all, he was in Almost Zero. That's this crazy ass movie where Robert Downey Jr. was mad rich and then started doing mad drugs, like. And then his real life went to that. I remember watching Robert Downey Jr. on the news when I was a kid, like going and getting arrested, having to go to rehab. Iron Man saved his life.
Yeah, bro. Him and Robin Thicke was in a rut. Said Robin Thicke never came out. Robin Thicke just fucked himself over. They went from being like top and then like going through that drug spiral and shit like that.
Yeah.
Robert Downey got like a tragic thing. I watched his YouTube video one day.
So you know about Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, like my boy Eric had me watch this YouTube video with him, kind of like detailing some of the shit. I didn't realize how long he been in the game.
Yeah, bro. I watched him when I was a kid. Like I remember watching that movie when I was like 10 years old. Like, oh, this guy's just, and because he was like in Almost Zero, he was mad lit. Like he was doing music. Like he just was, and he was young. He was just graduated high school. So I'm like, yo, this is gonna be me when I get older. But then he died of a drug overdose in the movie. So I was like, damn.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna pass on that life choice.
Yeah, right. That was like, yeah. And then to see him really go to jail later for doing drugs, I'm like, oh, this nigga wasn't acting. This was
That's crazy. All right, well, let's start to wrap this up. I'm actually one last question, trying to figure out a little bit of things, also insight for myself and probably for other people. I feel like this will help. What's been the process for you opening the store, like doing this, like? Kind of like, peel back behind some of the layers. I feel like some people just think you could just get a space and then do your thing and all that stuff. Like, what's it been like?
I was one of them. It's been a lot harder than I expected. Like, you got to pick out, just even finding a space was harder than I expected because so many variables. Then you got to make a choice. Like, I seen like 4 or 5 spots and I'm just writing down the pros and cons. Like, cause this is decisions because you got to sign a lease to be here for like 4 or 5 years and it's just like, damn, I got to make a decision. Then you got to scope out the areas. It's just like so much decisions that go into every decision you make. Like you got to pick like, what's the best this option? What's that option? And then once you get the space, then I got to figure out how I want to decorate it, how I want to design, how I want the stock be. Like, what can I use this for? What can that go for? What furniture I want here? Like, I had the space for 4 months and we just now opened up.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 days ago. So it's been very, 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 very tough process. Yeah. But, we get into it. It's a learning process. The first time I've ever did anything like this. So, I'm getting there, though. But
what's the advice you'd give somebody who's looking to open a storefront? Because I feel like these days everybody has, like, an online type store.
We was online, but I was online for 10 years. You just got to make it make sense for you. Like, look, we're filming out of it. Like, this is a multi-purpose space.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't rely on the sales from the the shirts to be the only, because if we just wanted to rely on the sales, then we would just stay online. So we're relying on, like, human interaction. We're going to be throwing events here. Like, we're getting into NFTs. We're going to start doing NFTs events here. Like, this is just expanding what we do now. And people could come in and feel us now. You could come see us, see us in person. Like, I had people stop by. We've been open for 3 days. So many people from the internet already stopped by just to even just get a picture with me. Like, oh, Bills, I want a picture with you. And just,
now you have like a central location where they can find you too. They don't gotta be tracking you down in the club and all that stuff.
They gotta be just randomized seeing me out drinking. So if anybody want to come through, have a drink, have some shots with me, come through to the Saturday store, we take a picture, come buy some merch,
Lit. So before we end this up, anything you want to plug for wrap up the whole video, shit like that? Besides, come to the store, obviously, check out the website, anything else you're working on outside of Saturday stuff personally?
I mean, I do a little bit of everything. I'm doing my own podcast, Reservations for One. I do music, I'm about to put out another project. And just you, man. Just shout out to you. Shout out to you for doing your thing, The Real Crop.
Thanks, bro.
Follow him on YouTube. Follow him on Instagram.
All right.
I love this guy right here, man. I love this guy, man. I watch him for I changed your diapers, nigga. I really changed your diapers, man.
All right. Well, that's it for this third episode of Nerds Enjoying White Wine. New, you already know what it is. There is no sequence to when these come out. These come out when I feel like it, honestly. At this point, it's almost like a monthly series. So whenever the next one comes out, it'll come out.
Follow me on Instagram, Sad Pit. Twitter, B Billions.
Twitter, B Billions. Make sure you follow the YouTube channel too. Everything will be in the description below. Put all the links to everything. Make sure you check them out. Also, before we end this up, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. And if you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to hit us with a like and leave a comment. Let me know if I'm trash. Let me know if this shit was dope. It is what it is. Give me some suggestions on how we can make this better.
How could you be trash?
I always leave the option just be like, just call me trash if you feel like it. That way, if they do, at least I expected it. And if you don't,
I mean, you know what? There are people who like
they looking to call you trash.
Yeah, there are people who like being on crowded trains and getting gum stuck in their hair. Those are the same group of people that'll call you trash. So somebody will do anything nowadays.
Anything for the clout, man. Anything for the clout these days. But that's it, y'all. On that note, enjoy your life.
I'm feeling great and feel the vibe. I'm really grateful we alive. And I'm feeling great cause lately I've been on the way to something great. And I feel alive cause I create like every day and I'm on today.